Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and I'm in a new room. Welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So hello and welcome to the 100th episode of the Friday Night Rant, and to celebrate we have got some new digs. Or I could simply say that Joe told me I have to move out of this small room now and take up a larger room because I'm taking up more space, so I have now got a new backdrop. And I have to say it's horrible to leave the green because I used to love that green. But with it being the 100th episode, let's spice it up a little bit more. Hooray! So at one point this week I'll actually do a video of everything that I've got on all these shelves and the ones that you can't see down below. The main reason I don't want to do it just yet is simply because some of the stuff hasn't come from eBay. I've ordered a couple of collector's editions I've had my eye on, and one of them I actually spent far too much money on, but I've got the eBay bug again and it's horrible, I just can't, But anyway, let's have a drink. And this week it's Innis and Gunn. To the 100th episode. That's lovely. That's a nice little tipple, that. So the first thing I want to talk about this week is Nintendo once again have made some more 3DSs. So first of all, there is a Monster Hunter that's coming to Japan and no word of the West. Second up is Zelda, and the third is Luigi. Now I just find it funny that people will go out and buy these new ones because a Pokemon one came out about 2 weeks ago, and anybody that would actually go out and buy one, oh yeah. So yes, having a girlfriend that is just crazy on 3DSs means that she has got one. But to be fair, it's actually a very sexy piece of kit. Now the thing is, when Jo actually does get a new 3DS every time a new version or variant comes out, she ends up selling the old one, upgrading to the new one, and probably losing about £10-20 or so. But it doesn't matter, it's her hobby. But the thing is, still, Nintendo make it so incredibly hard to move from one 3DS to the other, to the point where if she ever wants to buy a new 3DS, she has to buy it outright and keep her old one to transfer the data and then send that off to whoever she's selling on eBay. And to be fair, it's becoming a pain in the arse. And if Nintendo keep wanting to bring out new hardware, just please make it simpler for the people that are paying for these products and just want to transfer the software. So the next thing I want to talk about is Microsoft and Phil Spencer. Now Phil's come out this week actually talking about the idea of doing Xbox versus PC. And without actually giving away too many details or saying he didn't want to say too much, he actually says it does make sense. And it is possible with doing it with the ecosystem that they've got in place at the moment across different devices. Now for one, I love the idea of doing this because I do have a few PC friends, and if I could actually play it on my Xbox against my PC friends, I think it's absolutely great. The question is, what games? Now if it's a racer, I'll hands down play against somebody on a PC all day long. But if it comes to an FPS, there's no chance I am going to go against analog versus mouse. Now I do think analog is great, especially the new controller, it looks amazing. But sometimes on console we get that slight little handicap where it snaps to heads and you can't really beat the speed of a mouse. Even though I do prefer a controller, I still think I'll actually get completely trounced by somebody on a mouse. So the next piece of information that's came out is talking about the actual cloud side. Now Xbox are obviously going big with the idea of cloud and pushing it and saying it is the future. And we've seen Titanfall actually make use of this. For one, they're obviously going to be having dedicated servers, and two, they're actually going to be removing the AI from the actual game and putting it into the cloud, which simply means the console hasn't got to do for all that chewing power. The cloud would do it, which frees up more resources for the Xbox. Which in layman's terms simply means there can be more computer controlled characters on the screen at any time because obviously it's all being powered by the cloud. But the thing I like the most about this is Microsoft's come out this week to say all cloud features will be completely free to any developer for the Xbox One. Which simply means if they are creating a game for it, they will get dedicated servers, cloud processing and storage. Just the word dedicated servers alone I think is absolutely brilliant, because the only pain really of this generation now, I know some actual games have had dedicated servers, but when it comes down to the Call of Duty days, all I can remember is just migrating server. So if they can abolish that completely for the next gen, I thank you, Microsoft. And the last little nugget about Microsoft as well this week is Futurama. Now that TV series has ended and there is no word of a new season coming yet. But Major Nelson's actually saying he's bringing it forward to Microsoft so they can get exclusive rights to Futurama just for the Xbox One. Which means obviously Xbox One users then be able to watch the new series of Futurama. Now I'm kind of 50-50 with this. One hand, I'm going to be an Xbox One user, so that's great. I can go, brilliant, I will get Futurama again if this happens. At the moment it's the very early stages. But the point still stands. I kind of hate exclusive games. I hate the idea that Sony will get this, Microsoft gets that. Like, when it comes to your team that you're actually backing, you're like, ha, you didn't get it. But when the opposition gets it, you obviously feel very annoyed. Now let's say this Futurama information is true. If I was a person purchasing the PlayStation 4 and I enjoyed Futurama and heard that it was coming to the Xbox One, it would annoy the out of me. Now I'm not saying it would make you jump ships, because a cartoon series is not enough to make you buy a console. But the point still stands, I kind of hate the idea that they're going to be getting exclusive content and putting it behind paywalls and they're like, only the Xbox people can get this. But they've done it with games, so I can certainly see next generation they might be doing it with TV shows too. So next up, 2 pieces of Sony news. One is very, very good news. Not that it really matters, but I love people doing this. And it is the actual new Vita has got rid of its stupid charging port and replaced it with a micro USB. Now, I'm all for one for making standard ports across everything. I hate it when a manufacturer just goes, no, you've got to use our charger now. I'm like, why? Why can't I do it via a USB device? And the other piece of news is 4 games are being ported over to the PlayStation 4 now, and they simply consist of Flower, which has now been upgraded to 60 frames per second and 1080 resolution, Sound Shapes, which has got an updated version, and Flow and Escape Plan that have actually been tweaked to now work with the PlayStation 4 touchscreen controller. And the last thing I actually want to say about Xbox One and PlayStation is simply that here in the UK we obviously have the game stores, which I'm not a big fan of, but the point is they are going to be doing lock-ins all across the UK. So if you want to get your hands on some early access, test out the consoles, try before you buy, then click the link down below, find out your local store's Twitter and simply tweet them and ask to get on the guest list. Now the guest lists are obviously limited, so get in there quickly. I for one did this about 2-3 weeks ago and I'm on the Xbox One list. And I was actually going to put myself down for the PlayStation list as well, so I could obviously try a bit of that, but to be fair, I'm a bit disappointed by the PlayStation's lineup. Ooh, white face. So the Xbox is going to be doing Forza Motorsport 5, Dead Rising 3, Rise and Killer Instinct, whereas PlayStation is simply going to be doing FIFA 14, Knack, Super Motherload, Octodad, Pinball Arcade and Contrast. So the only game really I want to actually get my hands on for the PlayStation side is Contrast. But I don't fancy going all the way into town just to play that game because, to be fair, it's getting rolled across both platforms and I've already looked at the trailer and, to be fair, when it comes out I will purchase it no matter what. So I don't really need to demo it. So on to a bit of gaming news then. First of all, Grand Theft Auto complained about it last week saying it's buggy, it's glitchy and it's now getting smoother. And Rockstar are now going to give us £500,000 as a way of apologising. Now these sums of money will come in two £250 payloads, so obviously you don't get £500,000 just spunk it up the wall straight away. And the rumour is we're going to get a first payload this week. The other bit of exciting news this week is Deus Ex Universe. Now first when I heard about this I thought, brilliant new game, it's called Deus Ex Universe. But apparently that's not the case. The idea is Deus Ex Universe is simply going to be ongoing content expanding world that will allow other Deus Ex games to plug in. So it does sound like they may be doing several new games, and all along it's going to be powered by this Deus Ex Universe. I've also gone on to say the actual experience is going to be put across many different devices and platforms, such as tablets, smartphones, books and graphic novels. So it sounds like they're just expanding out. And now the thing is, I don't want them to just go nuts and make a load of stuff, because I am a Mass Effect fan, and to be fair, the amount of merchandise and all the graphic novels and all the stuff they do, I do think they've slightly damaged themselves. There's too much. Like, as a collector, I love collecting stuff, but when you make too much stuff and it's very expensive stuff, it kind of makes you just go, well, I'm not doing that. So I do hope there's just going to be 1 or 2 books, 1 or 2 graphic novels, and not too much stuff, so they just saturate the market with just Deus Ex stuff and you just go, it's too much. But still, I'm excited. I can't wait to see a new Deus Ex game. I absolutely loved Human Revolution. To be fair, the only thing we've got to work on in a minute is this piece of artwork. But still, I'm excited. Now here is something that has made me laugh. With all this Deus Ex news kicking about on the internet, obviously that means the Sun tabloid newspaper here in the UK has obviously done a little bit of research and decided to talk about it. Little did they know that Deus Ex is a game and not actual real life. But that doesn't stop them printing the article. So in the article they go on to talk about how Serif Industries have made a new eye that's got a camera built into it, and people have upgraded their eyes to the new Serif model, and talk about how it's going to be available in the future. Now that's just absolutely brilliant. Now the Sun, anyway, is a terrible piece of In fact, I just don't read newspapers at all because I just think they're all garbage. If I want my news, I'll get exactly what I want, tailor-made to what I want via the internet. But it's just funny that the Sun must have to go, oh, there's an untapped resource of news. It's called gaming news. Let's look into it. Yeah, I'm just writing an article about it now. Apparently there's a massive killing spree going off, and every time somebody kills 3 people, a care package falls out of the sky. Really? Jeff, we want to write about this. Apparently if you smash your head into a brick, a gold coin falls out. So now we've had 2 pieces of good gaming news, let's have 3 pieces of bad. And that comes in the form of delays. Now first of all, there's a rumour this week saying that Driveclub for the PlayStation has been delayed. At first it was somebody that works with inside Sony had leaked the information out, but there was no confirmation. But as of this morning, Sony have actually confirmed it has now been delayed till 2014. Now I do think that's a bit of a setback because obviously this was going to be one of the launch titles for the PlayStation. But as always, I always think if you're delaying it to make the game better, that is always a good enough reason. And on top of that, 2 Ubisoft games have now been delayed in the form of The Crew and Watch Dogs. Now first of all, Ubisoft have actually come out to simply say that the previous games that they've actually shipped haven't done the sales that they wanted to, and obviously these are big IPs that they're going to be releasing, and it says obviously they want them to be polished and perfect because they want to dominate next generation. But as soon as the information of these games being delayed was out on the internet, Ubisoft's stock portfolio dropped by 25%. But I wouldn't fear for the company because when the games do release, I'm sure it's going to skyrocket again. Now, I'm not upset about Watch Dogs being delayed simply because I'm not saying Watch Dogs is like Grand Theft Auto because obviously they're completely different games, but going from Grand Theft Auto to Watch Dogs would be a bit of too similar for me. So it just now gives me a great big gap to just enjoy Grand Theft Auto, let it die down, sneeze, and then gives me time to build up a buzz for Watch Dogs again. But as for The Crew being delayed, I am absolutely gutted because that game looks amazing and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. But as always, we've seen things like Bioshock get delayed, and it means when it does come out, it comes out as a perfect, polished piece of good gaming. So, for them to delay those 3 games, I say, good for you, don't produce Hashtag Alien Marines. So the last thing I want to talk about is a game called Stanley Parable. Now, this is a game I actually saw the trailer for not long ago, and the demo was released this morning. I have to say the demo is absolutely amazing and I cannot wait to purchase this game. Well, the game is out to be purchased at the moment, but at the moment I'm playing Witcher 1, so I'm going to wait until that's completed, then buy that. But the point still stands, if you are a Steam user, please go out and try this demo because it's absolutely amazing. It's like Portal meets, I don't know, it's got like test chamber kind of feel, repetitiveness, humour. It's very, very different to everything else out there. So if you are a PC user, go get that demo right now. So to finish it off is the question of the week, and this week it comes from me. And that simply is, because we've obviously had all these delays on games, what game was delayed for you which annoyed you the most? Now this could go from obviously anything coming up to current gen to all the way back in the day. And mine has to be Duke Nukem. Now I remember when the new Duke Nukem was actually going to be released, and I was a kid even reading the PC magazines, that's how old it was. And I remember looking at what Duke Nukem looked like then, and then fast forward 3 years and there was another version of it, and then a bit longer and a bit longer. And the worst thing was I waited a decade for that game and it turned out to be shit. Well, I can't say shit because from what I've played of it, I did enjoy it, but the loading times are so horrendous. I've never been able to force myself playing all the way through it, and yeah, Duke Nukem is the worst delay I've ever seen in my life. So that's me done and dusted, guys. I'm now going to jump off and go onto eBay and try and outbid some people on particular collector's editions. Now I've actually set myself a list of the actual editions that I want because I don't want to go out there and buy a load of crap. I want to get the ones that actually mean something to me. And sadly, some of those games have very high price tags. But I'm sure when I've had 1 or 2 more of these down my neck, I'll get a bit more loosey with the money. So that's me done and dusted, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to finish this and get some Witcher done. And I'd like to thank everyone that's actually stuck around for the entire 100 episodes. And hello to the people that have joined us not too long ago. And as always, just thank you very much for watching. Cheers, guys. Bye.